everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey, and I am back to share with you another week in my memory planner. As you can see, there's last week. I absolutely loved it. It was just so awesome and really reinvigorated my love for memory planning, which is awesome since I still have a quarter of the year left to finish. I used the Scraptastic Club Plan on It stickers and the Plan on It kit for this week, and I am using my Happy Planner. It's one of the originals that was released in 2015. I know, it was the one with the gold dot cover. Now, it's really awesome to get new planners, but it's also really awesome to use the ones that you have. And so that's one of my favorite things about this project, is that I am going to have used almost every single page of this planner, and I feel really good about that. I'm going to work with a certain color scheme this week. Now, I don't normally go quite this limited in my colors. I'm using that peachy pink and then that corally red color, and that's pretty much it. You'll see a little teeny tiny bit of black here and there. There's a memory card that has some green on it, but really, for all intents and purposes, we're using those two pink and red colors to go together, which I know is kind of strange because it's September, but I figured it was a really fun way to sort of give a real different look and feel to this particular week. You're not into memory planning? A-okay. Just keep watching. I do all my planning first, and then I add my photos and embellishments at the end, so you could stop watching when I was finished planning. I am layering and clustering stickers together, and I think that those are two awesome ways to really provide good design in your planner. I know that the focus is not on design in a planner. That's something that's definitely left more for art or for scrapbooking. But in your planner, it's also just as important to find something that's visually pleasing. So it's not difficult. It's definitely easy, and it's really super simple to do in your planner, but it does take you being ever so slightly mindful of not only the supplies that you're using, but the way that you're using them. So as you can see on Tuesday evening, where I used those three little stickers together and I clustered them, or I layered them, excuse me, and I was able to tell and notate the event, but it looks really good while doing it. The same thing is true on Wednesday morning. I used three of those hexagons together to notate a particular event, and then also to list out activities for the day. And I didn't do anything special at all, just clustered those stickers together. Now I'm finished for the first half of the week, which is super exciting, and I'm going to move on to the second half of the week. I did leave room for photos and a little bit of room for embellishing as well, but it's really mostly about the events, then adding photos to correspond to those events, and then decoration definitely comes in third place, and a far distant third place, because for me it's really just about the events in the planner and then finding a few photos to correspond with those events, not a ton. As you can see, here's a little bit more layering. I used that circle. I love those circles. Those are by Kylie and Chaos. They were in the, I believe this is the August Scraptastic Club Plan on It kit. She designed a couple of sheets for the kit, and they look amazing. Now I do add what would be considered a decorative sticker down there in the bottom in the Thursday evening section. Now what's really cool about my not day-to-day planner, using this as a memory planner, is that I do have a little bit more room because I don't reserve one box for to-dos like I do in my weekly planner. So I can add just a little bit more decoration and add just a little bit more spreading out each individual event. And that's kind of how I look at this project, as being a little bit different, and it doesn't feel redundant. I'm able to make each and every activity a little bit more decorative and a little bit more fun, but yet still sticking to the same principles, which are good design, and then also being mindful of not wasting supplies, not using a ton of stickers on one event and not using an entire weekly kit on one week, making sure that I'm able to reuse those kits is in the future. Now I've moved on to Friday, and again, just pairing together a couple of different stickers. One is a decorative and one is as functional as it gets, and it just looks really super cute together. But yet, look, it's just two stickers. It's very simple, and it's definitely something that anybody can do. The only thing that I did a little bit differently was that quarter box, I offset that a little bit from the main decorative sticker, and it looks fantastic. The same thing is true for the Saturday morning. I used one of those corner stickers. They're plentiful in the kit, and then I used that speech bubble that says note and offset it tiny bit from the corner sticker. It's really one of those things that I think is just a good design move. It looks great. Your eye is really excited and interested, and it looks really good, and they all tie together. So it's definitely something to consider, to not center all of your items. Maybe push one off to the side a little bit if you have room in, say, for example, here, if you have a little bit of extra room on Friday, why not push that event over to the left a little bit? Now I'm moving on to Saturday and doing some of my favorite things, which is right there, the flag or the arrow pointing to an icon sticker. It's just so cute and such a simple way to add a little bit of decor with that super cute icon, but yet keeping it incredibly functional. Now I'm layering 3 stickers together, that cute decorative box, the half circle turned on its side, and then also the really super basic quarter box. Now I did use a little bit of gray, so you'll see that right there, but it just all looks really adorable together, especially once you add that little miniature planner. Now, as you can see, I have all of my events down. So now I'm going to look through the few photos that I have printed in a 2x2 size with my Canon selfie printer using the Pick Frame app. And I'm going to trim them all up into squares. Now, to be perfectly honest, I'm still really jazzed about that larger photo punch that I realized works great with this size photo, so I am going to punch them all in circles. I'm sorry, I can't even help myself, but I will definitely start to go back to a few rectangles and squares as well after this week. I just was so excited that this bigger circle punch worked that I couldn't even help it. So I'm just going to punch this from that circle punch, and I believe it's a little bit closer to maybe 1.75 or ever so slightly bigger, and punch those photos out of there, and I'm going to arrange them in the visual triangle. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I am a huge fan of the visual triangle, and what I think that it does is it's just good design, and it's really easy to do. All you have to do is take elements, 3, and place them in a triangle. It doesn't have to be a perfect triangle. It can be a little bit skewed, it can be a little bit, wonky, but a triangle, and you just really will have some excellent design techniques with that. Now that I've adhered all of my photos, I'm going to go through the die cuts that came in the This Life Noted kit and choose ones that match both in theme and in color to go with this particular week. I'm not going to go crazy or anything like that. It's not like I'm going to fill up all the blank spaces, but just find a couple that will help add a little bit of embellishment and really add something to this page and make it a little bit cuter. So I have found 3, and what's awesome about the 3 that I chose is that they're all different shapes. And so you're really able to just keep with that little bit more random theme on this particular week. So I've placed them where I'd like them to go, and I'm going to use my little tape runner to adhere them down to the page. Now here's a little bit what I had talked about before about a design element of layering. So I'm going to peel up the corners of the stickers that I used in the planner to layer that die cut with those elements. So once you're finished, or once I'm finished, I'm sorry, you'll see how these all really work super well together, and they just look really great. And what's neat about it is that it wasn't difficult. You saw that it only took just a minute to layer all those things together. And one of the best things to do is to just play around with it. So with a die cut, for example, it doesn't come with adhesive on the back. So you can play with where you'd like it to go before settling on a space that you think looks the best. So I've continued that theme with all of the die cuts on that page. And then I also want to add a couple of decorative stickers. Now again, this is just sheerly for decoration, and I do add the slightest bit of decoration in my day-to-day weekly planner, but I like to add a little bit here in my memory planner as well, since this serves as a scrapbook of sorts, sort of a combination between planning and project life. So now that's completely it. I'm all done. Well, okay, not all done, but you know what I mean. I've added the weekend, I've added the little remember, and now I feel like, okay, that Sunday morning spot could really use something to kind of finish it off. Now, I recognize that the left hand of this page is also a little bit weak with decor, so I added that today stamp or sticker. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time speaking as well, and it just really kind of balances it off, and it also is going to coordinate with one of the cards in the pocket pages. So I've chosen the pocket pages, and I'm going to start filling it with photos and cards. Now I took a simple photo that I printed as a 3x4 with my Canon selfie using the Pick Frame app, and I'm going to go back through a past kit. It was an add-on from Scraptastic Club, and it was all about weather. So I'm going to choose this little circle umbrella. It's so cute. It matches in theme and in color, and I'm just going to place it up in the center of the sky up there. Not after, of course, looking through some of the other cards to make sure that I wasn't able to use them on this particular layout, because I hate to miss an opportunity to use something great. So I'm going to stick that right there in the center, and that's totally it. And then I'm going to slide it right there in that page protector. I'm going to get the today stick. See, there's that today card that I told you would match with the sticker. And then I'm going to add a little 2x2 photo right there to that card that says love you. It's so, so cute. I love the card. It's perfect with my black and white photo. And then I'm going to use a little banner sticker from a previous Plan On It kit just to add it right there. Now, I didn't want one that had both sides, both tails on there, if you will, so I just folded it over onto the back, and then I have exactly what I did want. And then I'm going to add the tiniest bit of journaling, and I'm just using a Papermate Flare pen, and then I'm really set. So I'm going to slide all of those right into my page protectors. And I'm going to switch these around just so that I have that balanced. The two photos are diagonal from one another instead of on top of each other. Now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to continue to fill my pockets, one with, again, a full 3x4 photo, and then also this card that is perfect for right there. Now these two I'm going to add little 2x2 photos that I printed, and then add just the tiniest bit of journaling as well. So this card, I want to use a little circle sticker and an arrow just to notate just a couple of words of journaling. The thing is that I feel like telling an entire story, which would be phenomenal, would be fantastic, but I don't have room for it. So a couple of words just to jog my memory in the future, and that's just really exciting. Now again, I'm just going to finish up this particular card with a little bit of journaling, and that's really it for me for this week. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you liked it, and it also lets YouTube know the types of things that you like to see. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.